So why music? There was at some point where that's the only thing I knew how to do. Like I didn't even know how to like change a tire or something. Like I was so mechanically inept. That ended up being one of the reasons why I joined the Navy, actually, because it was like music was the only thing I knew how to do.
Why music? Because I don't know. I would say music is something I've been doing for a long time, and it feels natural, and I'm passionate about it, and I like to follow that passion for sure.
I was very much like on the path to either being a rock climbing guide or a ski patroller or just playing in the outdoor industry. So, and I still try to do that as much as possible. Like that was probably first and foremost my biggest passion. When I joined the band, I was like 22, and I still stay interested in other things, but yeah, it wasn't like this big plan.
I watched my father work really hard. I'm one of 6 kids. We were in New Jersey, and he would drive into New York City every day to work. And I watched him work and work and work his whole life. And I told myself I was going to do something different.
My dad's a musician. He's actually like a rhythm and blues musician. He was in Wayne Cochran and the CC Riders band, which was like an all-white version of James Brown band. So had all the horns, and Wayne Cochran had a big pompadour.
I wanted to be forest ranger, so I moved to Colorado. I was really into the outdoors. I am into the outdoors. But I also got a music degree, and I saw this hippie band playing, and I wanted to join them. So I joined them.
Music was my escape and my solace and my meditation as a teenager. It was all about records and learning to play Neil Young songs and CCR songs, classic rock, and that was my escape and that was my joy.
And I don't like to have a boss, even though I guess I have 5 other bosses now.
I don't know if it was better than being the forest ranger, but I enjoy the success we've had, and I enjoy the music we create together.
But we put in a lot of work and really applied ourselves and put in the 10,000 to 50,000 or 100,000 hours required of anything.
Kept playing music, always played music, but at that point, then it was like, hey, maybe we can make a career run out of this thing.
My dad was also really good friends with Jaco Pastorius, who's like, you know, Miami legend, of course. So I'm a young kid, and I'm listening to Weather Report when I'm like 7 years old.
It was between music and art, and the music just kind of took off, so I went with it.
I was just like, music, and that's all I got, so.
You don't have enough chart, do you?
There's a lot of different ways to write and record. One of the big things that we wanted to accomplish during this time off the road is to be able to kind of like spend the time to develop kind of complex songs. Beyond learning how to play, you got to find out what grooves feel good, like what really makes it gel. The idea was there's a bunch of our songs in our older catalog that have these movements that are like, you know, they're not just like verse, chorus, solo, verse, chorus, out, which we've done plenty of those in our past too. We intentionally wanted to write songs that are kind of like complex in nature and go through these like different musical journeys. And Osiris like was one of those.
Let's just try to do it 4 times around. On the 4th one, you hit the A, and then we go to the C sharp walk down, and then the next part.
lyrical genesis of it, I think like one night I was just kind of sitting around, and I've been going through, like, my dad's been kind of ill, been in and out of the hospital, and you know, sometimes those things will bring out a lot of like their fuel for a creative expression. These things came together with seedlings of ideas. And then Jason came out and like we flushed out some of the beats and just kind of gave it some direction. I've always had a fascination with Egyptology, and like I've been to the pyramids before. The name Osiris came in to my like psyche, and I started thinking that through, and I was like, oh, that'd be a really cool way to like tell a story, but then also about a specific thing. And Osiris is the protector of the underworld. He's like the guy that like sits at the banks of the river Styx, and you have to go and pay him a couple gold coins.
It wouldn't be Telluride Bluegrass Festival without having Sam Bush up here, the king of Bluegrass, Telluride Bluegrass Festival. And it also wouldn't be Telluride Bluegrass Festival without playing some Newgrass Revival.
Offered to play Telluride Bluegrass Festival, which is probably the biggest reason why we stayed together as a band, because we got such a high and a positive buzz from doing that. Telluride Bluegrass in the 90s was really, really fun for all of us. And that first year that we played, we just played with all our heroes opening the festival, and that was just it was the big spark that we're like, oh wow.
The Telluride folks are super in tune with the music scene, with all the festivals and the Bluegrass Festival, and they took to us immediately.
Like Telluride Bluegrass, for example, it was our honor to be playing with them, and they helped us grow.
I can't think about my past. My aspirations always exceeds my grasp. You got to reach a little bit higher when the light within becomes a fire. Hey, hey, whoa, whoa, you got to grow.
Here's my home studio. I'm just hoping to get like 11 more keyboards in here. I only have 16 so far in here. No, I have like my very first keyboard was this one. Never mind this tangled mess here. But actually, I stole this from my neighbor, and then he figured it out. I was like 14 or something, and he said he made me pay for it. But it's an analog synth. I really have not turned it on in a long time. You can see the dust. And then this is Travis's. So this is kind of more of an analog world. It's my clav here, my Wurlitzer, and my Rhodes. So this is vintage world. And then, of course, the Hammond organ over there. And then it kind of goes more modern as we move this way. But yeah, this is where I do all like my overdubs, etc. for any project. Right now, obviously, it's string cheese. Whereas with whoever I'm working with, I can basically record all here. And here's this new fiddle song I've been working on with cheese. So here's some Kang parts. It's kind of like an electro. So I thought it might be nice to put some clavinet on it. Jason just made some percussion on here. I have yet to get it together, but so what happens is we'll go over to a studio. In this case, it's the lab, and we'll do all the drums and most of the rhythm section stuff, the bass and the guitars. Then I'll bring it home and add some programming here at the house, or Jason will, and then I'll add all my keyboards. If I get a good take in the studio, I'll leave it. But this one I just completely redid at home because I got a tone I enjoyed better. I got this kind of trippy that I would not have been able to do at the lab. So I'm able to kind of be more creative and get more colors and textures here at home. So yeah, so I want to do some clav, see how that goes. So yeah, I'm going to set up a clav track here using the 57. And this is actually Bailey's old amp. The cool thing about it is it's also an accordion amp. It has an accordion in right here, which is really bizarre, but I get some nice crunch out of it. All right, so this is kind of like a funk disco section. I wanted to add some clavinet to. You got Bailey on the acoustic guitar. 1, 2, 3. Wow. You know, the cool thing about it is I'll record that and I'll do it at home and I'll give myself more grace than I should. I'll be like, oh, that's pretty funky. But when I do it with the band, I feel like it gets more scrutinized and it gets better. Like the other day I did something for Kang on his song Osiris. And I was like, that sounds really good. And he's like, that sounds pretty good, but you can do better. And I'm like, shit. And so he kept pushing me. And that element is difficult to do at home. They push yourself to the next level. So it's nice to have a combination of working at home, but also having the band make you better, you know?
Too much like fish. Oh no, that's not what I'm going to say, no. Good. I was going to say that it is like another band though. That all in all, with that chord change, is definitely going to get Pink Floyd stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So it's changed. I've changed.
Changed a different word even.
Yeah. Well, I said falling further down the hole.
All in all, yeah, it's just that all in all is, and that chord change is pretty.
Oh, go like falling further down the hole.
Maybe, yeah. But I like the cadence of all in all. All in all. It's just the words are.
Yeah, it's
Here we go.
It's the other song.
Here I go further down the hole.
Here we go.
I think it's falling too. It's fine.
Let's do that. That'd be a cool song to do. Is that your cover?
I'll do that, yeah.
It's a matter of being okay with not being the power band all the time and being okay showing people these are the different parts that create the whole. I think that would be interesting for band members and the audience if we shake it up a little bit.
It's tricky business, weaving tracks into dance music, into jam music. I think we could still be better at it, but it's created a niche. It's created our ability to be able to be at like Electric Forest over and over again. I think the jam scene and the electronic scene, or the rave scene, have very strong similarities in that it's all about love. It's all about this transcendent experience where you can step out of your ego's boundaries, and so it felt like a great fit.
Hey, we can play the same show every night. Well, the songs are different, but it's the same show. 30 years, for crying out loud. We got to do something different.
Hold my feet to dance, to take a chance. Let go of my fears. Lady faces all around.